imperfect. And what would the Niphal imperfect be? Dagesh forte in the middle root letter, or sorry, in the first root letter. That's the Dagesh of the assimilated nun, and your comets there, right? But the third He part doesn't change in every conjugation. Remember all this? All right, this chart is extremely helpful. Just to finish it out, how about the imperatives? The imperative forms of third He, when the He is there, always have a seré in the imperative. No matter what conjugation, that third He mark will be an imperative. The infinitive, just worry about the infinitive construct at this point. All third He's have infinitive construct that ends in oath. And that will be true whether it's Kal, Piel, Hifil, Niphal, Puel, or Hithpael, or whatever. Oath. All third He's have infinitive construct ending in oath. And finally, the participle of all third He's in the masculine singular have a segol, just like the imperfect. In fact, let me clean house here a little bit. Let's put the four forms of the participle up here on the board. Oh, let me use X's. No matter what conjugation, the masculine singular participle is going to end in seré, or sorry, segol like that. If this were a Kal participle, what would it look like? Now it's Kal, right? Remember the holum in the Kal? If it were a Piel participle, you'd add the main prefix and the schwa and do this to it. Now it's a Piel participle. For the sake of this lesson, if we wanted to make it a Niphal participle, what would we do? But note that the segol is distinctive of the third He. Now, if we want to make this participle plural, what happens? Well, we take off the He and we add E. There's the pattern. In other words, the third He is gone now because we've added a vocalic suffix. That's actually what's happened here. This would be a Kal participle. This would be a Piel participle. And what would be the Niphal participle? Add your Niphal prefix. Now it's the Niphal participle. Any third He root fits there. Is this making any sense? What about the feminine singular form now? In the feminine singular form, that third He actually goes away, and instead we add the comets He ending of the feminine singular noun form. In fact, it would probably be good to put these in red, if you will, to show that technically these are, and we're going to get an oath here. I'm just working ahead while I got the red out. Okay, so how would this be a Kal participle? Now it's Kal, right? We could go through the same drill, making it Piel, making it Hifil, or in this case, since I'm using blue, it's now a Niphal participle. See what we've done? The regular Niphal participle would be Nick Tal here, right? Nick Tal with that comets. But this corresponds to this form, not to this form, right? This is the regular verb, singular masculine with that comets. In a third He, you get a segol. See, the third He always trumps the vowel you're supposed to get. That's the problem here. So learning this tells you what a third He does no matter what conjugation you're in. And that will always trump whatever the conjugation is supposed to have. And this is, you got to sort this out for two reasons, right? One, third He's are pretty common, and they'll forever cause you trouble, unless two, you get it nailed. But once you know it, they're never going to throw you a curve again, right?